been. I mean, they've been all over me, and they've been watching me like a hawk, and I'm watching, other people on the same production, and they can say everything they want, and, um, and that's where I had a problem. I had a problem because I wasn't going along with the narrative. Um
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jazz Borgonzo, and this is what's next. The Gina Carano interview. I know a number of you have already seen the interview. I watched the interview last night during dinner, and you want to talk about engaging. You want to talk about interesting. You want to talk about eye-opening. Um, they had all these. You want to talk about someone who's who's had a persona put on them as this no-nonsense woman, heartless. Um, you know, she's ruthless. Those are all things on the screen. During this interview, she came off with a heart of gold. I mean, she did. She was compassionate, loving for her fellow man and woman, and but the biggest takeaway, she was honest. The biggest takeaway that she was honest in this whole thing. And I'm not going to play the interview. I mean, the interview is an hour and 5 minutes long. But Ben throws a lot of questions at her in regards to clarification, and she does that, with great honesty. But excuse me, that at the end of the interview, basically you come off like, wow, this is the real Gina Carano. And the thing is that you really never, I don't think there is another interview that really gets at the heart of a lot of things. Because most of the time it's you're doing interviews for your upcoming movies, upcoming books, upcoming television shows, depending on who the actor is, actress is. But she gives the lowdown. She lays the smackdown on Disney and how corrupt they are, and that there are those in this industry who are severely corrupt. Disney, a multi-billion-dollar company. You got those in the industry. She mentions a couple of times during the interview that there are billion-dollar companies just raining down on her. Her words, quote, raining down on her in regards to trying to ruin her career. You got those in the industry. She says that they're afraid to make their voices heard because their jobs are on the line, which is absolutely true in Hollywood. Ben also talks about that there are more conservatives than you think in Hollywood, being that Ben lives in LA. He sees it every day. He talks with those every day undercover, sadly. But when you have an industry who kept their mouths shut on Harvey Weinstein for the better part of, what, 30, 40 years, you had those like Meryl Streep and Oprah Winfrey and Robert De Niro and other major players in Hollywood who basically kept their mouth shut while Harvey Weinstein did his little shtick, you know, in his office, on the casting couch. But I definitely agree with Ben, and I definitely agree with Gina that there are more that think like her who really didn't know where they stood. She also said during an interview that she has never been political. She never knew truly which way she leaned until last year. Last year she saw a lot of things. Her eyes were opened to a lot of things that she just looked at and said, "Wait a minute. I've got questions and concerns." That's why she threw the posts out that she did. She clarified her pronoun post of bebop boop, which of course, like I said, Ben thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. I think the majority of the people who thought it was funny, except the twatter mob, the twatter douchebags, who came out and slammed her for it. And of course, that was the real kicker-upper in regards to trying to get her fired or cancel her. Excuse me. But her biggest thing that she felt that she was bullied, and I agree. She was bullied. She had a target on her back. They were just waiting. As I said in my previous video, I've said in my previous three videos, and I said in a post that it wasn't that they were coming, that they couldn't get rid of her regarding the post, the pronouns. They shunned her away from any kind of interviews regarding the Mandalorian. So that was Disney's punishment. They're like, okay, we're not going to fire you, but here's your punishment, little girl. Go in your corner. Here's your timeout. Fine. She talked about, the election. IDs, matching signatures. That the country was not meant to handle this kind of load when it came to mail-in balloting. She had a lot of questions in regards to the validity of the election. That didn't get her fired. She talked about a number of things. She posted a number of things. But of course, as I talked about before, in the lead up to this, is that the post regarding neighbor versus neighbor, basically telling your neighbors, you're getting told that, your neighbors are this and that, and you need to keep an eye on them, and you need to watch for them because, they could be very harmful. They could be very destructive because of their speech. That's what basically the gist of the comparison was in her post. That those who are conservatives, those who are libertarians, we have an opinion. We have a differing opinion. We question what's going on with the masks and regulations regarding states' shutdown of businesses and churches, but yet these peaceful protests were allowed to just flourish and go all over the place, and multiple cities were being destroyed because of it. Police were getting shot because of it. Businesses were getting ruined because of it. But yeah, that was okay. And I will re-emphasize that not one Democrat, not one liberal stood up and said, yo, you know what? This needs to stop. So Gina questioned that. She questioned that. She questioned, okay, do I put on a mask? Do I not put on a mask? Outdoor seating? No outdoor seating. Well, she didn't mention that in the interview. I'm saying it because, of course, a lot of people have questioned that as well. I mean, we saw the one video with one woman who basically said, okay, I built my outdoor seating for my business, but yet not even 50 feet away, there's a movie company who has outdoor seating, but they're exempt, but I need to shut down my outdoor seating even though that's what you asked me to do. Really? But she's found her newfound, she's found her newfound, really. She has her newfound conservatism uh, in its infancy, it is. And for Ben to reach out to her and to say, hey, you know what? You have a home here. And for her to just jump on it instead of like taking a step back and say, listen, I'm going to weigh all my options out there. You know, Disney's not the only game in town, which is true. Disney's not the only game in town, but when you have a majority of these multi-billion dollar companies who lean center left or who are left, as we saw during during all the Instagrams and putting and blocking out and blacking out their pages, in solidarity, for the cause. But let me wrap this up with this: is that at the end of the day, she's going to be a better person because of it. She's going to be better off because of it. There was a video I was watching of Doug TenNapel, and basically she was saying that she's not going to make the money. She's not going to be as famous. She's not going to get this, that, and the other because she decided to take a step back and sign with a fledgling company that both Ben and his business partner, Jeremy Boring, run. They're trying to get their feet, grounded as well regarding this because it is, you don't see that many companies out there. There is one that I know, and that's that Christy Swanson is involved with. Oh my gosh, Antonio, not Banderas, Antonio Sabato Jr. It's called Conflicts, CONFLIX.com. That is a fledgling film company that they are involved with and that they're trying to build up. Check them out on Instagram, their Instagram page. But this is going to be very interesting from going here forward. Because Gina is, excuse me, Gina is an extreme talent. She is. She's a badass. She's independent. She has opinions. She has questions. She's looking for answers. And right now she's, her conservatism, like I said, it's in its infancy. She's taking baby steps. She says during an interview that she's not where Ben is. She may never be. That may not be her forte. But you will hear her voice again. Guaranteed. She will be podcasting. She will be doing interviews. Guaranteed dollars to donuts. But I say this, Gina, welcome to the club. Glad to have you. And we look forward to your future endeavors with Ben. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I applaud Gina. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Braganzo. This is What's Next. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.